Hello everyone, Enready here, and today I thought I would try to do some reviews. I was requested that by another YouTuber what I thought about Harpoon, because I was in my like second or third video or whatever. Um, and I got two other titles as well. I'm gonna try to fit in. Hopefully I don't run out of time here. I'm losing battery. Alright, so as you can see, first up I have Harpooned, Whale Watching Massacre. And this film I would put into the subgenre of backwoods horror with films like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Wolf Creek. The basic plot of this film is that a group of international tourists who are in Iceland decide to go out on a whale watching expedition, and tragedy strikes and they end up getting stranded. I won't get into how that happens, but you know what happens. And they get seemingly rescued by a family of former whale hunters. But it turns out that these whale hunters are bitter at the tourists for they blame them for losing their trade of whale hunting. So they get on the ship and then they get attacked and get hunted down. This is a very cynical film in the sense that a lot of the characters on it, like the victim characters, aren't very likable, with the exception of like four of them. Like the other half are not very likable at all, and one of them is even more vicious than the family. Um, it isn't a very long film, and which is kind of really bothersome because as soon as they get on the boat, they get pretty much attacked. They didn't do a slow build or anything. They're on the boat for like a minute, and then like the craziest of the family members attacks one of the tourists, and then they all flee. Um, Another problem I had with the film is that like the family wasn't really menacing enough. It's basically a mother and her two sons, and one of the sons is kind of gimpy, and then the other one that's more able-bodied is really isn't really he doesn't have a really big physical presence. He's just like an average guy. So, and there was more of the tourists than there was of the family members. So you would think that they would just overpower them, but instead they just flee. Um, I don't know. Like it's an okay film. Like the setting on the ship and that it was awesome. I just wish they would have did a little more with it. But I would still recommend this one for a rent. You know, even though I like it a lot. I wasn't bored watching it, which is much more you can ask for. All right. The next up we have Nightmare. All right, I gotta go look at the back for a second. See the names. Starring Jason Scott Campbell and Nicole Roderick. All right, now this is a really interesting film. Basically, the plot of this one is this is Jason Scott Campbell here, and he plays a hotshot film student. And one night he's celebrating his latest critical success. I guess he did like a student film, and he meets Nicole Roderick here at a party, and they hit it off real well, and they end up going in the back room and having sex in somebody's bed. But in the morning, when they wake up, they see a video camera pointed towards the bed. So they're curious, and they play the camera. They play the camera back, and they see a video of themselves murdering a family. And they're freaked out. They're not even covered in blood, which is kind of weird. But anyways, the next morning he goes back to school, and he's pitching his latest project. And he pitches something and they didn't like it. So he decides to pitch what actually happened to him the night before. And then he goes and he finds Nicole and convinces her to be in the movie of what actually happened under the guise of they're going to find out who's doing this to them and why it's happening. Um, the film was really good up until a point, but I got the sense that they've kind of painted themselves into a corner. Like, the film is kind of like a David Lynchian type of film, like The Lost Highway or Mulholland Drive, but like the ending of it just kind of fell apart. I had to watch the special features on the back to find out what it was, what was going on, and why the things that were happening were happening. Um, this film does have one of the most interesting disclaimers I've ever seen in a film, where it says basically that all the tattoos are real on the actresses and actors, because there's a lot of nudity in this film, and the film that he starts making, within the film there's like tons of nudity. It's almost like a porn video. There is a little bit of humor in this film. um, I wish they went another direction with this film, because it starts off, it does kind of feel a little bit like a Serbian film, but this came out before that. But this one gets way too Jacob Ladder-ish tape for me. But I would still recommend it just for a view, and I give them props for going with an Afro-American actress for the female lead, because normally it would be a blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl, and she's actually really good in the film, much better than the lead actor. I think he is mixed cast. All right, and the last film we have The Children. This was a blind buy for me when I got it a couple years ago. I wasn't even going to buy this film, but I decided to get it anyways. The plot of this film is that there's two families that are meeting around Christmas time, and the children start to get sick, and they throw up. But it looks like they think it's car sickness, but it really looks like they're throwing up pieces of their brain, and it's almost like a flu type of symptom, where it goes from one kid to the other, where they start acting strangely one after another, until eventually they become totally homicidal. This is a really good film. I was really surprised with this one. And the thing about this film, it's gonna upset like parents with small children, because the children are really cute even when once they've gone psychotic. And there's a lot of violence against children in the film, where the adults defend themselves against the children. This was really well made, and it was really realistically done, as because when the stuff starts going down, there's a huge level of confusion, because no one wants to believe that the kids are actually capable of harming people. But I would recommend this one for a buy for anyone that's interested. All right, I know this was kind of awkward, and it probably sounds awkward, but I'll try again and see if I can do better next time. So you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.